By the end of the 1st century BCE, a small group of Jewish militants living in the desert were ready for war. At Qumran, near the Dead Sea, the Essenes were praying for the final days to begin, so they could join forces with the armies of heaven and fight the evil rulers of the earth. Among the mysterious writings found at Qumran, known today as the Dead Sea Scrolls, is the War Rule, a detailed set of instructions for fighting the ultimate battle when the heavenly sons of light will destroy the satanic sons of darkness.
On the day of calamity, the sons of light shall battle with the company of darkness amid the clamor of gods and men, and it shall be a time of great tribulation, from its sudden beginning until its end in eternal redemption. The Dead Sea Scrolls.
Who are the mysterious sons of light and sons of darkness? These apocalyptic warriors may be much older than the Dead Sea Scrolls. Searching back hundreds of years through ancient texts, we encounter them centuries before the Essenes, in the faith of one of Israel's most powerful neighbors. Today, hundreds of miles east of Jerusalem, the magnificent ruins of Persepolis are all that remains of one of antiquity's greatest empires, the Empire of Persia. Until they became Muslims in the 7th century CE, Persians practiced their own ancient religion, a religion founded by a mysterious prophet who has long intrigued historians. The prophet named Zoroaster. Several centuries before Jews and Christians, Zoroaster predicted a final battle between good and evil and a last judgment. Zoroaster taught that life was a cosmic battle between the divine forces of light and the demonic forces of darkness. He prophesied that at the end of time, a savior will come to earth to resurrect the dead, reward the good, and punish the wicked. Did the biblical apocalypse originate in the teachings of a Persian prophet? Perhaps Zoroaster's predictions of total war appeal to the angry, desperate Essenes of Qumran. But Zoroaster's cosmic battle is very different from the Revelation's apocalyptic visions.
One of the things about Revelation that I find very intriguing is that John refuses to follow his models at certain crucial points. For example, the final battle between good and evil never occurs. There is no battle scene. Other apocalyptic works describe this final battle in great detail. For John, the battle is assembled and it's declared to be over. I think that's because in John's mind the battle with evil is already over because Jesus has gained victory over evil by his death.
Persians, Jews, and Christians all agreed that the final days, when they came, would be horrible indeed. Today, John's vision of that awful battle still moves and frightens us whenever we hear the dreaded name Armageddon. Where is Armageddon? The Bible simply tells us it is the place where the kings of the earth will assemble for the final battle. Did Armageddon exist only in John's vision? Or is the Bible's most terrifying battlefield to be found on earth? When we return, we search for the site of Armageddon and relive the tragic history of the Holy Land's bloody. Today, in northern Israel, the ancient mound of Megiddo broods like an eternal sentry over the valley of Jezreel. In the book of Revelation, John of Patmos foretold that the kings of the earth would meet in this place for a gigantic battle which would signal the end of the world. In the Hebrew language, Megiddo is called Har Megido, the hill of Megiddo, Armageddon. But why did John choose Megiddo? Today it is one ruined city among dozens which cover the landscape of Israel. What made John believe that the final battle would begin here? The answer may lie in the land of Israel itself. The city of Megiddo was founded 4,000 years before John wrote the book of Revelation, in one of the most strategic locations in the ancient Near East. The great road which connected Egypt to the empires of Mesopotamia passed through the valley of Jezreel. At Megiddo, the road divides. These three roads connected all the kingdoms of the Near East. Ancient Megiddo was located literally at the crossroads of its world, and whoever controlled those crossroads controlled trade, and more importantly, the movement of armies from the pyramids to Babylon. From the day it was founded, Megiddo was doomed to be a place of battles.
The wretched enemy has entered into Megiddo. He has gathered to him the princes of every foreign country, their horses, their armies, and their people. The capturing of Megiddo is the capturing of 1,000 towns. Pharaoh Thutmose III.
The date was May 12, 1468 BCE, nearly 15 centuries before John wrote his Apocalypse. Egypt's Pharaoh Thutmose III destroyed an alliance of Canaanite princes, the earliest historical record of a battle at Megiddo. Archaeologists have discovered that when Thutmose III conquered Megiddo, the city had already been destroyed and rebuilt 11 times. Although Egyptian accounts speak of Megiddo, it is more likely that John knew of the city's past from the Hebrew Bible.
The kings came, they fought. Then fought the kings of Canaan by the waters of Megiddo. Judges 6:19.
Today, the ruins of massive walls are battered reminders of Megiddo's violent past. In the time of King Solomon, around 950 BCE, these walls protected a city which was twice the size of Jerusalem and the most heavily fortified city in Israel.